April 30th, 1945. Berlin is already dead. The city is a smoking skeleton. Streets are buried under rubble, artillery echoes through empty buildings, and the Third Reich exists now only in basements and lies. Beneath the shattered Reich Chancellery, 40 feet underground, Adolf Hitler makes his final decision. The war is lost. The Red Army is meters away. At 3:30 p.m., Hitler retreats into his private bunker room with Eva Braun. A gunshot cracks through the concrete corridors. Cyanide shatters between teeth. Within minutes, the most hunted man on Earth is dead. His body and Eva Braun's are wrapped in blankets, carried up through a narrow stairwell, dragged into the garden above the bunker. Petrol is poured. A match is struck. Flames rise as Soviet artillery lands nearby. The Führer burns as the Reich collapses around him. By nightfall, Hitler's remains are reduced to scorched bones and ash. And yet, this is where the story should end. But it doesn't, because no one believes he's dead. 2 days later, Soviet troops finally overrun the Reich Chancellery. They descend into the bunker, weapons raised, expecting traps, resistance, or ghosts. Instead, they find silence. Empty rooms, bloodstains on a sofa, half-burned papers. The Red Army has captured Berlin, but the one prize Stalin wants more than the city itself is missing. There is no body, no public corpse, no trophy. And Stalin does not accept uncertainty. He orders a secret investigation, not by journalists, not by historians, by SMERSH, Soviet military counterintelligence. Their mission is simple: find Hitler, dead or alive. And if he's dead, prove it beyond doubt. The man chosen for this task is not famous. He is not a general. He is not a politician. He is a 33-year-old intelligence officer named Ivan Churakov, quiet, methodical, trained to interrogate ruins and corpses alike. Churakov arrives at the bunker site while Berlin is still burning. His orders are classified at the highest level. No announcements, no witnesses, no mistakes. Stalin wants certainty, not rumors. Churakov begins where everyone else avoided looking, the garden above the bunker. Soviet soldiers had already stumbled upon a shallow crater filled with ash, bone fragments, and twisted metal. Most assumed it was just another bomb site. Churakov does not. He orders the pit carefully excavated. As the soil is removed, something unnatural appears. Burned human remains, not scattered randomly, but deliberately placed. 2 bodies, or what's left of them. The remains are horrific. Charred skull fragments, jawbones, teeth, the stench of petrol still lingering in the dirt. Churakov immediately seals the site. He knows exactly what this could mean. If this is Hitler, the war's greatest mystery is already solved. But certainty matters. Bones alone aren't enough. Hitler had doubles. Rumors of escape plans are everywhere. Stalin himself openly tells his allies that Hitler may have fled to Spain or Argentina. Churakov understands the danger. If he's wrong, history will never forgive him. If he's right, no one may ever know. The remains are transported under heavy guard to a secret Soviet facility. No photographs are released, no Western observers allowed. Churakov begins assembling testimony. He tracks down bunker survivors, Hitler's aides, secretaries, guards. One by one, they tell the same story. The suicide, the burning, the burial. Their accounts align too closely to be coincidence. But testimony can lie. Teeth cannot. Churakov learns something critical. Hitler had extensive dental work, unique bridges, gold crowns, custom fittings. Dental records exist somewhere. Churakov orders them found. Soviet troops locate Hitler's dental assistant, Käthe Heusermann, and his technician, Fritz Echtmann. They are arrested, interrogated, isolated, shown jaw fragments recovered from the garden. Heusermann recognizes them instantly. The bridgework, the pattern, the repairs she assisted with personally. She breaks down. These are Hitler's teeth. There is no doubt. Churakov documents everything. Detailed reports, diagrams, witness statements, dental confirmations. By May 1945, he has done the impossible. He has proof. Adolf Hitler is dead, burned, buried, identified, case closed. Except it isn't. Churakov submits his findings to Moscow. The evidence travels upward through layers of secrecy until it reaches Stalin himself. And Stalin rejects it, not because it's weak, but because it's inconvenient. A dead Hitler offers no leverage, no myth, no fear. Stalin prefers uncertainty. He prefers a world where Hitler might still be alive, where the West remains paranoid, where rumors destabilize enemies. Churakov's report is classified, locked away. The remains are hidden in Soviet custody. The dental records are sealed. And the man who solved the greatest manhunt in history is ordered into silence. Publicly, the Soviets deny everything. Stalin tells Truman that Hitler escaped. Soviet newspapers hint at sightings. Western intelligence agencies spiral into confusion. The FBI opens files. MI6 chases ghosts. Argentina, Antarctica, submarines, secret bases. The myth grows because the truth is buried. And Ivan Churakov watches it happen, knowing the answer, unable to speak. His name never appears in headlines. His report never reaches historians. His certainty never reaches the world. Years pass, decades. The Cold War hardens. The bunker is demolished. Berlin is rebuilt. Hitler becomes a legend without a body. And Churakov fades into obscurity, another Soviet officer swallowed by secrecy. He never gives interviews. He never publishes memoirs. His work remains classified long after his death. When fragments of the truth finally emerge in the 1960s and 70s, they are dismissed as propaganda. Conspiracy theories are louder than evidence. Lies are more entertaining than documents. And the man who found Hitler's body remains invisible. Because history doesn't reward the truth. It rewards the story people want to believe. By the time the world begins asking questions, the evidence is already locked away. The jawbone sits in a Soviet archive. The skull fragment with the bullet damage is sealed behind classified doors. The written report that confirms Hitler's death is stamped, filed, and buried under layers of Cold War paranoia. Ivan Churakov is reassigned. No medals, no commendations, no acknowledgement. In the Soviet system, success does not guarantee survival. Silence does. Churakov understands the message. He never speaks publicly about what he found. He never corrects the rumors. He watches as the truth he uncovered is slowly replaced by speculation. In 1946, as the Nuremberg trials begin, the absence of a body becomes a problem. Prosecutors present documents, orders, witness testimony, but no corpse. Defense lawyers exploit the gap. Rumors spread in whispers and newspapers alike. Some claim Hitler escaped through secret tunnels. Others insist he boarded a submarine. Stalin encourages the ambiguity. He knows uncertainty is a weapon. A dead dictator ends a chapter. A missing one keeps fear alive. Western intelligence agencies take the bait. Files are opened. Sightings are logged. Entire teams are assigned to track a man who no longer exists. And Churakov, still alive, still silent, watches governments chase a ghost he personally held in his hands. In the 1950s, Soviet scientists quietly re-examine the remains. The conclusion never changes. The dental match is definitive. The fragments are authentic. The findings are reported upward again. And again, nothing happens. The truth is stable. The politics are not. The Soviet Union has no incentive to end the mystery. So the mystery is allowed to grow. Books are written, myths harden. Hitler becomes a character instead of a corpse, a symbol instead of a fact. And symbols are harder to kill than men. Churyakov grows older in a system that rewards obedience over accuracy. He lives long enough to see conspiracy theories flourish in the West. He lives long enough to hear people argue on television that Hitler fled to South America, that he lived under an alias, that he outsmarted the world. Each claim erases his work a little more. Each rumor turns certainty into doubt, and there is nothing he can do about it. His evidence is real, but it is locked away, and without public proof, truth becomes optional. It isn't until decades later, after the Soviet Union collapses, that fragments of Churyakov's investigation finally surface. Russian archives begin releasing select documents. Dental records are shown. Photographs of the jawbone appear. Forensic comparisons are published. Modern scientists confirm what Churyakov already knew in 1945. The teeth match Hitler's dental charts perfectly. The remains are consistent with cyanide and a gunshot. There is no escape, no submarine, no Argentina. Adolf Hitler died in Berlin, exactly where Churyakov said he did, but by then, it barely matters. The myth is stronger than the evidence. People who have spent years believing in an escape, you don't want closure. They want mystery. The idea that Hitler survived is more exciting than the reality that he died, broken, trapped underground, and burned like refuse. Churyakov's truth arrives too late to compete with decades of speculation. And so, even when the facts are finally revealed, many refuse to accept them. Not because the evidence is weak, but because belief is emotional and facts are not. Ivan Churyakov never becomes a household name. He never appears in documentaries. His face is absent from history books, yet he accomplished something no army, no intelligence agency, and no government could do publicly. He found the most infamous man in history. He identified him. He proved his death beyond doubt, and then he was ordered to erase himself. This is the part history usually skips, not the battle, not the suicide, but the moment after, the moment when the truth exists, fully formed, and is deliberately ignored. The world spent decades asking what happened to Hitler. The answer was known within days. It just wasn't allowed to be believed. Because history doesn't always belong to the people who uncover the truth. It belongs to the people who decide whether the truth is useful. And sometimes, the most important discovery in the world changes nothing at all.